Hello everyone, welcome to another video on my channel. I'm Marshall3498. Today's moto vlog topic, what I'd like to talk about is another piece of my winter riding gear, and that is the gloves I'm wearing. And they are a Held Arctic Gore-Tex glove, which means, because they're Gore-Tex, they're waterproof, and they're guaranteed to life of the glove to be waterproof. I'm not sure how many grams, so to speak, of insulation they have in them, but they're a heavy winter glove. They do keep my hands warm with a particular bike I'm riding, which is a Yamaha FC6, which is a somewhat naked bike with a little bit of nose fairing, but somewhat minimal wind protection. So I guess this is the worst case scenario for these gloves to be able to keep my hands warm when I'm riding. And I found that once it gets middle 30 degrees Fahrenheit, say 35, 36, especially on an overcast day like today, it makes it feel much colder than what it is. And they tend to, in my perspective anyway, and my temperature tolerance, they keep my hands warm for about 30 minutes before I really start feeling the cold, and it becomes somewhat bothersome and you know, unsafe, I guess you could say, to ride anymore without warming my hands back up. But you know, if it's in the 40s, they really keep my hands warm for about as long as I can stand to ride in it as far as the rest of my body goes. So for what they are, you know, they do quite well, although the price point is a little up there, because you know, you're paying for a lot of features and a quality glove. I bought these from Revzilla, where I usually buy most of my riding gear. I don't get paid for that, or just, you know, honest review where I got them from, and they were, at the time when I bought them, in the 180s US dollars anyway. So they do, like I said, you know, they do okay. They're made out of a full leather construction, especially on the palm. If you can see that right there, that little checkered part right where my pinky's kind of pointing at, is something that's called super fabric. And that's basically, from my understanding, little tiny plates of fabric welded together. I don't know how you weld fabric without burning through it, but that's what a lot of people use on a lot of more higher end gloves. And that's so the slide protection, when your hand hits, if your hand was to hit the concrete and slide, that's just another layer of protection right there on the base of your hand to keep from injuring your hand. They do have hard knuckle protectors just on the knuckle. Nothing on the fingers, probably just because I guess because they're winter gloves and they're already a little bit bulky, but still good enough to, once you get used to them, to be able to, at least in my case, to use all your regular controls, like, you know, turn signals, headlight, high and low beam, starting a bike, horn, stuff like that. They don't really hinder me on that. The only time they really hinder me is if I try to change a setting on my Senna 10S that I use on my helmet. Other than that, you know, like the jog dial when you change a song or turn it off or switch the radio. But other than that, they do fine as far as how bulky they are with being able to work everything with them on. They are a full gauntlet design. Get up this red light here, maybe I can show you how the straps are. But they are a full gauntlet, and I'm wearing a Revit Horizon 2, just to give you a frame of reference, and they go over that fine. They also have another little zipper right there on the outside right there, if you can see that, and that goes up and down to make the glove wider as far as to go over your coat if you have more of a kind of bulky jacket on, or a somewhat slim winter jacket like I'm wearing now. So I mean, they do fine. Like I said, my only complaint about them is, you know, I'm not really used to wearing winter bulky gloves, so it is a little bit cumbersome at first till I get used to them again on the ride. But after that, they're okay. Pull in here in this parking lot and maybe give you more of a, just, you know, even though this is not a product guide, this is more of an owner's review on this. But I also have a what something Held uses on a lot of their gloves. They also have a visor, little squeegee thing, I guess you could say. That's what it is. And to wipe your visor when it's raining, because they are waterproof. But right there is a little visor wiper. They have also too. They have stretch panels right there at your fingers, so your fingers can move well. There's a hard knuckle I was speaking of. There's the little zipper that allows adjustment as far as how bigger or how smaller it gets. There's the super fabric, and it does have a one strap closer right there by the base of your hand to keep that part down as far as in a slide where your handle's staying in the glove. And this part here is just the full gauntlet part that cinches down over your coat to keep everything waterproof and warm. But, you know, for what they are, they do quite well. I don't know if the way they're made as far as with the Gore-Tex and stuff being windproof, I don't know if they would work with a set of heated grips. My bike does not have those, unfortunately, so I don't know if, like some of the Revit gloves, one of them in particular, I don't know the exact name, they do actually have, they're engineered to work with heated grips so that the heated grip heat the inside of your hand while wearing them, so the insulation is not as bulky. That way the insulation, the less insulation and stuff like that allows the heat from the grip heaters to come through in the glove and keep the palm of your hand warm. I don't know how well that would really work though, because that's kind of a catch-22, because the main part that the front of your hand is going to feel if you didn't have hand guards on your bike is that wind, so then the inside of your hand is warm, but the front part that faces the wind is not. I don't know really how well that would really work, so I don't know, but it's just my honest owner's review on this particular product. You know, most of the places now, if it's not snowing, you know, it can still ride if you live in a somewhat milder climate like I live at in East Tennessee. I'll ride as long as I can stand it, you know, till it gets down to the low 30s, and after that, because I don't have any heated gear or stuff like that, then I'm pretty much done. I can stand it, you know, myself. I can stand it for about an hour, but any more than that is just, it becomes unbearable. My hands get too cold, and you just can't wear enough layers at that point to override the wind chill factor that you actually feel. Because those of you who ride know the wind chill is what you actually feel in real world time. So that's just, it's part of it. It's one of those things you just have to get used to and deal with it, or put your bike up for the winter. So on that, guys, that's about all I got in today's Moto vlog. If you haven't already done so, please like, share, comment, and subscribe. And we'll see you on the next one. Have fun, ride safe. See ya.